We're here with Helena Stencel. Helena won the Lyndhurst 10 Bird Special in the South Australian Home Pigeon Association. What was the breeding of your winner, Helena?
The breeding of the winner was Van Loon hen.
When and how did you become interested in pigeons, Helena?
Well, I was born in Poland and we had a farm, and my father had pigeons. And when we came to Australia and I was old enough to get married Kaz, and he loved pigeons, so that's how it all began.
Ah, very good. How do you pair your birds up? Is it winners to winners, or do you try to keep a certain family of birds together?
We actually try to keep the family together, and at the moment we try to keep just to have Van Loons at the moment, and then we'll see what happens in the future.
Mm-hmm. Do you use any vitamins at all?
No, we don't use vitamins. We use the natural vitamin, which is called TLC.
Do you use any probiotics at all?
No, I must say we don't.
When do you start training your pigeons, and what would be the distance of the first toss?
We usually start training around the end of April, beginning of May, and we take them usually to St Kilda, which is about 20 kilometres away from our house.
Do you prefer headwind or tailwind training, Helena?
We prefer headwind for them to learn for the future when they have a tough race.
Do you medicate your birds when they return from a race?
No, we don't. We look after them properly all year round, so I don't feel we have to medicate them when they come back from the race.
Mm-hmm.
We just feed them.
Do you use any natural remedies like apple cider vinegar or garlic?
I wouldn't say we do it religiously. The occasional time we cut up the garlic in very tiny little pieces and we feed them, but that's only occasionally.
How do you give it to them?
Into their beak.
Into their beak, straight
Yes,
down the throat?
Straight down the throat,
Yep.
Yes.
Would you like to change anything about your loft at all, Helena?
Well, we would like to update our loft, make it into 3 sections, but at the moment we're happy with the way it is, but we'll see what happens in the future.
Do you believe in eye sign, Helena?
No, I don't believe in eye sign, but I believe in a very nice, healthy eye.
Do you send your droppings away to be tested, Helena?
We've never done that, but we usually know when the pigeon is not well.
Do you pair your birds up?
Well, usually we pair them up in October, but this year we've done it a little bit earlier, and we've started in September.
How many young birds would you breed for the coming race season?
Usually around 100.
Do you separate your cocks and hens at all?
Not at all. We don't believe separating them. I think it gives them a good reason to come home. If they're together, then they rush home to their partners.
Do you think the wind influences the results of pigeon racing?
Well, I think maybe the wind does influence the winning of the racing, but I think it depends. You have to have a good pigeon to win the race.
Like racing late breeds, and if you do, is there anything different that you do with them?
No, I don't like racing late breds because it's very easy to lose them, especially in the hard races.
Do you buy your seed pre-mixed, or do you mix your own, Helena?
We usually mix our own. I think it's very easy to do that, so we do it ourselves, yes.
Do you increase the carbohydrate ration as the races get longer?
No, we don't. We feed them usually the same thing from the beginning to the end, but maybe at the beginning of the races we give them a little bit of barley.
Mm-hmm. How many pairs of stock birds would you keep?
We actually have 20 pairs of stock birds, but we have 12 compartments, so we change them around. We started with 12.
Have you tried widowhood at all, or a combination of it?
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't believe in it.
What lines of flight do you prefer racing?
We prefer the North Lane racing.
The origins of the stock birds that you keep, Helena?
We keep Van Loons, and I have to mention our beautiful friend Reg Muller, because thanks to him we have the line from him, and that's why we got good success now.
Where do you see the sport in 10 years' time, Helena?
Well, in 10 years' time, I hope that the sport will continue, but I get a bit nervous about thinking that the young people seem to be working longer hours now, and to be a good flyer you have to put a lot of time in. But hopefully they'll find the balance how to do, both, and hopefully it will continue for a long time.
If there's one tip you could give a beginner, what would it be?
Well, I think you need to go to a good pigeon flyer and get a good family, or get lakebreds or even some eggs.
Perhaps we could have a look at through your lofts now, Helena, and have a look at some of your birds.
Yes, you're very, very welcome. Let's go and have a look.
It will look better on the pitch. The other day I was going to clean up today, but I had no time. I know, just like an ivory.